Hey, friends, welcome back to your bonus information in prep week. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited for you to get started to find out that personalized data that you're going to get from your lab test and to be able to put that all together so that you know exactly what to do to get unstuck and to really get that transformation that I know that you're here for. So I'm excited. First thing first, we're not going to let prep week go by without actually doing some stuff while we're waiting on those lab results. What you learned in the previous video was the foundational principles behind your daily anchor points. So now I want to kind of walk you through the educational tool and dive a little bit deeper into the advanced science that makes your morning routine so powerful. And these things aren't just, these tools aren't just extras. They're really designed to help you to apply what you're learning, track your progress, connect with the deeper motivation that's going to sustain you through this entire educational journey. You have three educational tools. There is a metabolic momentum map, and this is your 3-day action guide that really breaks down exactly what to do at each anchor point, morning, midday, and evening. It includes quick reminders of why each action matters so that you stay connected to the science behind what you're doing. Because I am known for helping you to know the why in addition to the what. Because when you know the why, when you understand why you're doing something and it makes sense to you, you don't have to carry around a checklist or you don't have to carry around all these trackers. You're going to understand, hey, it's important that I do my core activities in the morning because that's when I'm setting the stage for me to actually sleep better at night. So I want you to understand the why behind what you're doing. Okay. That's going to give you a better anchor in staying consistent with that and actually having it work for you. So this isn't a rigid rule book. I want you to think of it as a learning companion. Print it out, keep it visible, refer back to it when you need reminding or you need to be grounded again in the why behind your actions. Here's something powerful. Share what you're learning with someone else. When you can explain why morning light matters, why eating protein first stabilizes your hormones, that's when the knowledge really integrates. Plus, you might just help someone else break free from their own metabolic loop spinning off in the wrong direction. Next is the rhythm and results track. This tool helps you to connect the dots between what you're doing and how your body responds. Not what you hoped would happen, but what's actually changing day by day. We have a tendency to overestimate what we're doing well and underestimate what still needs support. This tracker helps you to see clearly, tracking energy levels, mood, digestion, sleep quality, and any symptoms across all three anchor points. So you're not tracking for perfection, you're tracking for awareness. You're tracking to celebrate the small shifts that are compounding and making building to some significant changes. And then finally, the clarity sheet. And this is where you get crystal clear on your goal. And more importantly, uncover the deeper why that is going to anchor everything else. So I want you to start by setting 3 specific goals for this educational program, not vague outcomes like feel better, but clear commitments like what will you do? Like, what is your goal for this? So I will consistently apply the morning anchor point with 85% consistency. And the reason that I say it like that is because you can't control how your body responds necessarily to what you're doing, but you can control what you're doing. And that's the goal that I want you to have. So, the goal could be that I'm going to show up every week and watch these videos. I'm going to apply what I'm learning every week so that I can, so that I can improve my health. I am going to print out these, trackers and that sort of thing that go with it and be sure that I'm filling them out and that I'm doing what the program is asking me to do at least 85% of the time. I'm going to ask for help when I need it because in the past, I have just kind of isolated myself and I don't ask for help when I need it. The goal should be very clear and specific and measurable so that you can say, hey, if I'm at 85% of the time and I've done this 20% of the time, then, that's obvious that you haven't reached your goal, right? I hope all this is making sense. And then I want to talk about something that's really important. We're going to do a little exercise that is called the 7 levels of why exercise. Most people think they know why they want to get healthier, but they're usually sitting really at that surface level. Think of an onion, they're sitting at that outside stuff that we throw away. When I ask you, why did you sign up for this program? You might say, I want to get healthy. That's a great response, but that's really superficial level. What we do during this program isn't always going to be super easy. Giving up some things, delaying some things, changing the way that you eat. I mean, we have a lot of emotion, we have a lot of memories, we got a lot of stuff really wrapped up in eating, and we're very nutrition forward, we're very diet forward here. So we do a lot of things with changing up and improving what's on your plate and when you're eating it and what you're doing when you're eating it. To make some of those changes that require a little more effort, you're really going to have a good understanding of why this is important to you. And you can't do that at the surface level. You can't do that at the outside of the onion. You got to get down to the middle of the onion. And since we're talking about onion, I usually say that your why should make you cry. Now, is it going to make you cry? Maybe not, but it really should get down to an emotional level that makes you stop and think, wow, that really is why I'm here. That really is why I want to do this and why my health is important to me. So here's how it works. Start with the question, why is starting this educational program important to you? And I want you to write down your answer. More importantly, I want you to find someone that is a good friend, maybe a mentor, someone that you look up to or respect, someone that is your accountability partner, someone that doesn't allow you to get by with the easy answers sometimes, someone that, I don't want to say hold your feet to the fire because that has such a negative connotation, but maybe someone that encourages you to be the best version of yourself. The reason I want you to do this with someone else is because and someone like that is that I don't want you to just go through and write 7 answers. I want you to think about this, and I want you to do it with someone that's really gonna kind of hold you to being really true and to really giving this time and thought. Okay? So start with question, why is starting this educational program important to you? And we'll just walk through an example here. So your answer might be, I want to have more energy. Okay. So why do you want to have more energy, or why is having more energy important to you? And the answer might be, so I can keep up with my kids and be more productive at work. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now you're actually looking at what the end result is going to be like. What are some things that you could do with more energy? Okay, so now we're down to level 3. So why is keeping up with your kids and being productive at work important? The answer might be something like, because I want to be present for the important moment and I want to be able to advance my career. All right, now we're getting somewhere, right? You can see the difference and you can see how maybe sitting in front of someone that knows you really well and someone that doesn't let you, kind of give BS, how you might get better answers, right? And why is being present and advancing your career important? Like, why is that important? Because I want to provide financial stability and I want to create memories with my family. Okay. Now we've got some more, like, you can imagine that you can just visualize this more, right? You can really see, why is providing stability and creating memories important? Because when I was growing up, we had financial stress, and my parents missed out on, we didn't have a lot of family experiences together because of that financial stress, because they were working a lot. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of it, right? Now we're getting to where that's emotional. That's probably triggering some memories for you. And you want to show up differently in your life. You want to show up differently for your kid. So why does it matter that you experienced financial stress and missed experiences? And the answer might be something like, because I felt like I wasn't worth the effort that it would have taken for things to be different. And this can be very personal. This could be like, maybe you didn't feel connected or you didn't feel valued when you were growing up. That's important stuff, right? Now we're getting to cards. The level 7. Why does that feeling of not being worth the effort matter now? Because I refuse to pass down that same belief to my children that they're not valuable enough for their mother to choose help, energy, and presence over exhaustion and survival mode. Like, you see how much of a different answer that is than what we started with is, I just want to have more energy. Okay. So this is important work because when things get a little, or when you have a vacation coming up, or when, work is getting busy or life is getting busy, or maybe you're sick, showing up and learning the information and applying what you're learning to make a change in your health, it's going to require that you dig deep. And I want you to remember, even if you have like a picture that just exemplifies where you get to level 7, when you get to level 7, whatever your answer is, then I want you to put that somewhere. And I want you to refer back to that because every day is not going to be rainbows and sunshine, and every day is not going to be easy to do. So you're going to have to dig deep and you're going to have to know what it is that's going to inspire you to do that hard thing and to make those changes that it's going to require to get you to the point that you're actually improving your health and that you're learning enough information so that these are things that are going to stick for you. Let's see what else we have here. Yes. And the other thing that I want you to be aware of is that by level 7, we're not talking about energy anymore. We're talking about worthiness, legacy, breaking generational patterns of neglect. And that's the why. That's going to be what connects you to doing the work when it gets challenging. Take your time. Don't rush it. The why you discover here will become the anchor when motivation dips and old patterns pull you back. So the advanced morning method, deep dive science. Now let's expand on your morning anchor point with the complete metabolic morning method. This builds on what you learned about light, water, protein, gives you the full scientific framework for optimizing your entire morning routine. Your morning routine doesn't just affect your morning, it sets your metabolic tone for the entire 24-hour cycle because your circadian rhythm is like a conductor orchestrating every biological process in your body. When your morning light hits your eye, it doesn't just wake you up, it triggers that whole cascade of hormonal changes that influence your metabolism. And that first, that morning light sets the tone for cortisol release, that sets the tone for the next thing that's going to happen, that sets the tone for the next thing. So you can see if that first thing doesn't happen, the second, third, and fourth things are not going to happen. That's why it's important. Research shows that people who get consistent morning light exposure have better insulin sensitivity, more stable mood, stronger immune systems, more efficient fat burning throughout the day. The hydration advantage, the morning glass of water does far more than quench the thirst. After hours of fasting overnight, your blood is more concentrated, your circulation is a little sluggish. Proper hydration jumpstarts that circulation, improves the efficiency of nutrient transport to the cells, and it supports natural detox pathways. It enhances mitochondrial function, the energy production that is going to enter into every cell. Studies show that even mild dehydration can reduce metabolic rate by up to 3%. And that sound like much, but over time, it significantly impacts your body's ability to burn fat and to maintain energy. And then the protein power, starting your day with protein creates what researchers call a metabolic advantage. It's not just about calories. It's about the hormonal signals that you are sending. Most importantly, GLP-1 not only helps you to feel satisfied longer, but also slow gastric emptying. It improves nutrient absorption. It stimulates the production of peptide YY. That's another satiety hormone that's going to reduce your cravings for hours and hours. Eating protein in the morning improves your muscle protein synthesis throughout the entire day, even if you're not exercising. That means that your body is better at maintaining and building lean muscle mass, which directly impacts your metabolic rate. So the more muscle that you can hold on to, the hotter your metabolic engine is going to run. And the more independent you remain for longer. And I don't know if you know this, but after the age of 25, our body naturally loses muscle mass just with age. So we're at least combating that when we have protein first thing. So, some advanced integration strategies: room temperature water versus cold water. Cold water requires energy to warm it up to your body temperature, which can slightly boost your metabolism, but room temperature water is absorbed more quickly and may be gentler on your digestive system first thing in the morning. So, experiment. Notice what feels better for you. Track that. Your doctor's been telling you for who knows how long that your labs are normal when you feel anything but normal. And this is when I want you to use that expertise of your body to your advantage, to notice little things, to keep track of those, to see when those are improving, to see when there's a change, protein timing and types. So combining fast absorbing proteins like eggs with slower absorbing proteins like Greek yogurt or nuts creates a sustained release of amino acids that support stable blood sugar and that energy production for hours. And then movement integration, adding just 2 to 3 minutes of gentle movement, stretching, light calisthenics, or even dancing to your favorite song while you brush your teeth is totally fine. It's going to enhance your circulation, signals your metabolism to shift into active mode. The mindfulness component, taking 60 seconds for gratitude or intention setting, isn't just a feel good practice. It measurably lowers cortisol levels and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, creating that optimal internal environment for all your other morning practices to work more effectively. Let me share how this plays out in real life. I work with one woman who had been struggling with afternoon energy crashes and late night cravings for years, and she was already eating healthy, exercising regularly, but she was missing these morning practices. So we introduced 10 minutes of outdoor light exposure, a full glass of water before coffee, and a protein rich breakfast instead of our usual toast and fruit. Like I said, it doesn't have to be processed food, necessarily prepackaged food, in order to be that standard American breakfast where it's carb heavy. It could be toasted fruit. Within 2 weeks, her energy was stable, her cravings virtually disappeared, and she lost 4 pounds. She didn't change anything else. Another client added the gentle movement component, just 3 minutes of stretching while her coffee brewed. Not only did her morning energy improve, but she noticed better digestion throughout the day. She never really was a breakfast eater just because she didn't feel like her belly was ready for food that early in the morning, and that all changed for her. These aren't dramatic interventions. These are strategic applications of circadian biology, metabolic science, nervous system regulation. But when you apply them consistently, they create profound shifts in how your body functions. So start implementing the complete morning method on day 4 of your prep week. Layer in these practices gradually. Don't try to do everything perfectly from day 1. Being consistent over perfect is going to get you much further in this program and much further in your health goals overall. And just remember, these are small things, but eventually we're going to build on those. They're going to become bigger things. And how you do everything is how you do everything. So if you blow off the small things, then you're not going to have the foundation for the bigger things. So all of these things are important. Your metabolism doesn't start with your first meal. It starts the second you open your eyes and begin receiving signals about what kind of day this is going to be. And you're in control of that. Another thing is that when you set your intention first thing in the morning, you can check in with yourself at night. And that's how you can identify those things that you can really frame in a positive way, that you can look for those things that went well. So are you going to send signals of chaos, depletion, stress, or signals of abundance, care, and intentional nourishment? Choice is yours, and it's going to start tomorrow morning. Once you've established these rhythms and we have your lab results back, we'll have the foundational practices that make everything else in the metabolic loop method, educational curriculum, much more effective. Your body's ready to respond to these evidence-based principles. So let's keep building that foundation together. Have a great week.